What's up, everybody? I've got Zara here, and I'm super excited for today. This guy has a scaled out operation and it has things running like a Swiss watch. So I'm excited to dive in, man. Go ahead and introduce yourself and let us know what you do.
Yeah, my name is Zara Ameen. I launch my agency and Can's group of companies. So we have a digital marketing agency, we have a software house, we have a farm, we even do a little bit of real estate. So it's a group of companies. And our main venture right now is Launch My Agency, where we help people launch and scale digital marketing agencies completely done for them. So we're not coaches, we're not course creators, we're business owners, and we partner with them in order to help them launch their own agencies and their own online businesses completely done for them using our exclusive eight-figure team.
Dude, that's crazy. So it's almost like a franchise without the franchise part, but you get all the benefits of it.
100%. The main difference is that we don't charge a $2 million fee like McDonald's does, and we don't take 51% equity. So that's the main difference.
Okay.
But yeah, very, very similarly, we've actually studied them very in depth of how, for example, McDonald's, Krispy Kreme, a lot of these franchises operate. So we basically brought that exact same system into the digital marketing agency space, into the online space here.
Super cool. Yeah, that's badass. All right, how'd you get into this? What's your origin story?
Yeah, so my rugby coach actually got me in here. I remember one time we were at practice, and towards the end of it, he was telling me a little bit about like, yeah, I did 50K last month, and that really got my eye. I was in high school, and 50K a month was like 50 million, right? So from one thing led to another. He told me to buy this course, which was at the time $10,000, and I was like, there's no way, I don't have a job. Like, there's no way we can do that. But he gave me some free resources as well to study. So for the next few months, it was just studying. One thing led to another. We really realized like this is it. We have to get into this, course. At the time, it was 10K. So we raised the money. We got another investor. We're like, let's do it. We'll do all the work, and we'll split the profits. You invest, and from there we launched our digital marketing agency in about, I think, 9 months or so. We were starting to do about 75K a month. And from there, one thing led to another. We expanded into other companies, and here we are.
That's incredible, man. So, and now you have a farm too. So tell us
Yeah,
about that. I got to hear about that.
yeah. I think I have a picture too. Yeah. So the farm is just like a little side project, right? So we got kind of tired of just being in the city. We had about 6 offices. Now we kind of downscaled a little bit. So we ended up having about 120 employees at our peak. By the way, I was only 23 years old at the time, so it was pretty interesting to run an operation like that. So we had about 6 different offices, and I was just getting burned out, and I was like, I need nature. So we're like, let's just open up a farm, right? And at the time, you start getting some sort of success. People want to do business with you. So I got another partner who, underneath our company name, he was doing a lot of the work. We were funding it. And yeah, that was a cool little side project. It's still running. We sell cows. We have a little fish farm in there as well, vegetables. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool. My wife would go crazy over that. She's all on the homesteading kick right now. And we travel full time. We're in an RV and we tow a Jeep Rubicon behind it. And we're all over in nature
Nice,
and stuff like
nice.
that. But we've been talking about getting a house, and she'd rather homestead. So yeah, I feel you on that.
Yeah. Here, actually, right here, my brother just posted it yesterday, so that's what I wanted to show you guys.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Living the dream. Yeah, man, that's cool. That's a lot of fun. So how did you get so good at marketing? Because a lot of people struggle for years. They join masterminds, they buy courses, and they still can't get things to click. It seems like you figured it out pretty fast.
I wouldn't say pretty fast. We did definitely have our twists and turns. I mean, the biggest thing that I realized was the biggest investment I can ever make is not in software, is not in any other business than myself, than my own brain, my skill set, the people that I know, right? So that's our biggest lever that we pulled, is like being in high level masterminds, right? For example, that course that we got, that just going into that course, that was our first one. It was $10,000. On the outside, people may be like, oh, that's a lot of money. But then it's like, okay, cool. It is, but in comparison to what though, right? If you want to make hundreds of thousands of dollars, 10K is peanuts. It's $2, right? If you look at it in that perspective. So that's the mindset and the view that we had. And then when we went in, we really activated every single thing that we possibly could, right? We started off fresh beginners. We had no clue. And for us, we were young, right? Like me and my business partner, we didn't even have ever a job. So we don't even know how some
Wow.
of these things work, right? So imagine it's kind of like, being thrown in the deeper end of the pool. But the good thing was we had people who were mentors and, coaches and who were able to guide us in the right direction. So we learned a lot from them. There was a guy managing $6 million a month. I think he had Coca-Cola as a client as well. So I was directly learning from him at 18, 19 years old. So, you can see all these small little things and then pair it up with, the best masterminds pretty much in the world. And then you give a little bit of time, things start to start working out. Then everything starts to click. Marketing, sales, operations, whatever that you're trying to go into, it all just starts to click. But it's like, who do you pick to learn from? That's the most important piece.
Yes, and the circles that you get into, because these masterminds, a lot of people don't understand that you get your return on investment just from the relationships from your peers, some of the people that you're in that mastermind with. So let's speak on that a little bit, leveraging those relationships. Now that people are in paid communities, they're in masterminds, how do they use those to slingshot their lead generation, their traffic?
This is what you're asking here is like the most important piece, right? One piece can literally not only make the back that 10, 20K, whatever you spend, it just like the skill set that you get is for lifetime, right? So it's insane. Like there's so many things in my mind that I want to say, but what we started to view this as is like, okay, let's put ourselves into where do we like when we're by ourselves, right? Like we have 24 hours in a day. We are at our house. So we're spending the most amount of time at our house. Why don't we just move to a place where we have a lot of other people? That's exactly what we are. That's what we do. So I don't know if you've heard of Cole Gordon. There's a
Oh yeah.
lot of yeah, he's my neighbor. So I just like, he's, downstairs, right?
Oh,
So we're in the same apartment building. So it's the same concept, right? Not only are we in these masterminds for business, but we're also put ourselves and forced ourselves into being surrounded 24/7 by people who are at the top of the game, right? So it's like, again, picking the right people, picking the right things to learn from, and then making an environment, making a container, because at the end of the day, as humans, we all want to fit in, right? We all want to be part of a community. We all want to be part of a certain amount of people that we want to be around with, whether it's drug dealers or whether it's millionaires. The choice is yours, my friend, right? So we just chose, right? We just chose to be with the right people. And just
yeah.
by, for example, living here, one connection led to another. Like every piece of this, every day we learn something that makes us a lot of money. Not only the money part, but also like personal relationships, health. Like there's so many different aspects to this. There's a lot of layers to the onion, basically.
Yeah, there's power in proximity, whether that be the power of bad, being around drug dealers,
Yeah.
or the power of good, being around people that are changing the world and impact driven and lit up by their business. You don't want to be around people that they come to work every day and it's a drag and it's an energy drain for them. You want to be around people that are lit up by this stuff, and
Oh yeah.
that's what I love about those masterminds and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
what is one nugget with getting resonance in your messaging? Because something I've been studying a lot lately, it's been kind of a theme of mine the last month, is resonance and how to amplify that resonance to get in and to get people. How do you be more magnetic? That's my question. Let's sum it up
Yeah.
all to one thing. How do you be more magnetic?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of pieces to this, right? So it's like, all right, let's analyze. What's the 10% that's going to move the 90% for us, right? So number one, the biggest swing that you can get, at least my opinion, is knowing what knowing what your competitors are doing, or like what your potential competitors are doing. We don't really believe too much in competition, but it's like, what's the market doing? You take some of that stuff, and what you want to do is, again, picking the right things. A lot of people, for example, like we get this, right? People are accountants, they may be like a financial advisor or whatever field that they're in, right? They have like 20 years of experience, and then they're like, okay, cool, let me go into e-commerce now for my agency. And we're like, hold up, why? Right? Is it because it's like the cool new thing, or is it like, do you actually know about it, or do you actually have an edge over your competitors over it? So the first and most important thing is like your offer or whatever your message is, base it on your strengths, right? Like we only have a certain amount of time in this world. And, the years that we've already accumulated, let's use that to your advantage, because the market is very, very competitive, right? So that's the biggest
Yep.
lever that you can pull, is picking the right thing. From there, it's like the messaging needs to be in a way where people automatically raise their hand. And when people automatically raise their hand, there's a certain amount of people who disqualify themselves as well. right? So the only way to really do that is by understanding exactly what keeps these people up at night and understanding what they want, what like, you know, what they want really, really bad, and just crafting that message in a way where it's not, you're not just trying to throw spaghetti against the wall and hope it sticks, right? A lot of people, they, you know, they have Facebook ads, for example, they just throw it up. They're like, oh, Facebook ads don't work. But then they look at us, you know, we have about on average, 8.2x return and at scale. We do multiple six figures a month and we're doing 8.2x. So every time we spend $1, we make back 8.2. How can we pull it off versus other people, right? Because we actually are very intentional about our messaging.
Yeah, for sure. So if you're starting an ad campaign and somebody doesn't have a pixel that's warmed up, they don't have an email list, that you can't build a lookalike audience, you're starting from scratch. Now, in this scenario, what are you running for your ad? Is it just content? Is it just flashy stuff and juicy stuff that people want to consume? Or are you putting out ads that get them to opt in for something? With like, I guess my question here is are we pushing out content and just getting them hooked on content and retargeting? Or are we trying to get them to opt in for something?
Yeah, I would do an opt-in, personally speaking. So the way we did it is like we had a free Facebook group, right? So what we would do is to prove the offer without having to spend so much money, because when you first launch a campaign, like if it's a new business, for example, if it's a new offer, your offer is not proven. And when I say proven, you should be probably making like around 30K a month or so for it to be like, all right, now you can actually scale beyond, you know, into the multiple six figures, if not multiple seven figures a month. So it's like, for us, what we did was I wrote the copy to a level where I thought it would work, but I wasn't sure. And what I did was, to make the call to action, I just changed the call to action from, instead of using a book a call or like being a lot more, you know, aggressive with like the action that I want someone to take, someone who's brand new, who has no idea who I am. Instead, that action was way lower, right? So we could either give them a free guide, or we can tell them, hey, just join our free private Facebook group if you want to learn more, right? So that level of like, it was just like, oh, I just have to join this community. Cool, I get a lot. But from there, we were able to see like how many clicks we're getting, how many landing page views, like how many people are actually opting in, and then what that conversation was looking like. We realized like, okay, all we have to really do now is like just change the call to action. So now we get people to book a call, right? Which is a lot more expensive, but it's not going to be, you know, so crazy when you're in the beginning, when you don't have 5-10K to just blow, right? If you have a few $1,000s, you can go in with that little opt-in, but make the copy in a way where it's basically your offer, right? Aggressive. And it's like, at the end of the day, it's like you want to pass the ball back to the, you know, to their core and say, hey, if you want to learn more, just join my free private Facebook community. So that's exactly how we started. And then we just changed the call to action, and we're running the same stuff right now. So yeah.
So it's all about that call, get that booking, get them on the phone with the closer so a closer can do their thing.
Yeah, but in the beginning, it's all you, right? So like for me, for example, it was all me, right? A big
Yep.
part of this in the beginning, you know, whether it's people who are coaches or course creators, whatever it is, they don't like to take sales because they're creative, right? They want to teach people, which I completely understand. But if you want to truly have a business, you have to lead from the front, right? So like, not only are you doing your marketing, you're doing a little bit of setting, you're doing a little bit of closing, prove the system, right? Prove it so that when you plug in a setter or a closer, they can actually, you know, you can actually train them, ramp them properly to the level that you need them to be at, or else what's going to happen? It's just going to be a churn, right? One of the most hardest pieces of this business is keeping high ticket closers, like commission only closers, on the team, right? Same thing with setters. So your best chance is you proving the system first, and then from there, handing it off properly.
Absolutely. So this is such great stuff, brother. I appreciate it. But how do people go deeper with you? How do they get more?
How do they get more? So I mean, if you guys would like to hop on a quick call with either myself or my brother Mo, we do offer some of those things. If you guys would like to potentially work with us, having your own digital marketing agency done by us, we can drop that link down below. Or if you guys just want to be in our private Facebook community, we can also do that as well. We have about 5,600 members there. So, you know, we post a lot of content, like pretty much almost every day. So you can get a lot of free, you know, information there. And if you implement it, like, you will get the success that you want. We also have a YouTube channel that we just launched. And, you know, there's a lot of like, you can literally get to 10K a month with just that stuff if you really want to. So we'll just go ahead and drop the links down below.
Dude, that's incredible. Thanks so much. Comment below, guys. Comment below if you want access to that stuff. Thanks so much for being here. See you guys next time.
Thank you.